Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of QG Diaries, a program on Quranology Television QGTV. Today marks day 28 of 4 weeks of Ramadan 2015, and the word which is going around the social media is that Eid will be on Friday, which makes tomorrow the last day, Thursday. And tomorrow I have something special planned. I will not reveal it just now. But today we will be talking about Shirk or idolatry. Well, the word Shirk, to say idolatry, that has a rather religious connotation to it, but Shirk is wider. It is way more comprehensive than simply a religious thing. The word Shirk refers to partnering or association. And there are two ways, as far as I understand, there are two ways which Shirk can happen. The first way is you are taking other gods besides Allah, other authorities, if you like. So Allah calls this Shuraka'ina, my partners. Obviously he's asking, where are my partners? And we can't answer because he has no partners. Another way is for you to take an associate in order to reach Allah. And that is what Allah says, Shuraka'ikum, your partners. So my part, Shuraka'ina, our partners, and Shuraka'ikum, your partners. There are two aspects here. The Quranic personality, Ibrahim, he shows us a particular angle towards removing Shirk. And he's the only one in Quran who has this language. For example, he in chapter 6 verses 74 to 79, he analyzes various phenomena in his life. I'm not saying that these are natural phenomena necessarily. I don't take the planets, the moon and the sun literally, simply because it doesn't fit the context. To me, these words, moon, sun and so on, they refer to various power centers in society. Perhaps in another video we can go over it in detail, but for today, that's just to let you know that's how I see it. And at the end, when Ibrahim sees all these set, he says, Inni wajjahtu wajhiya, verily I set my face, or I face my face. There's a double emphasis there. Lilladhi fatara samawati wal arda hanifa, to the one who initiated in creation the skies and the earth, and I do so in a fully inclined manner. So he is what Hanifa is to be curved, and he is like fully concordant with reality. As you know, anything on earth, you can't draw a straight line because it's a sphere, so it's curved. So Ibrahim is fully concordant with reality. And he adds at the end, وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ, I am not essentially from the idolaters. So basically he shows that in order for us to become Hanifa, fully inclined, we need to remove the Shirk and return to Allah as our source, our Fatir. So that's essentially Ibrahim's path. Chapter 10 verse 18, if you see, it equates intercession with Shirk. So intercession is when you get someone to intercede for you on behalf of God. And obviously it's a delusion. It doesn't happen. And because of that, it becomes a Shirk. You have taken that person, you've idolized him. In chapter 19 verses 87 to 93, this concept of intercession, shafa'ah, it's equated with taking a favorite of Allah. So you are accusing Allah of taking a favorite. And Allah is saying that no, this doesn't happen. Allah actually speaks about it in very strong language. He says, the seas would burst forth, and the skies would split. In other words, your reality will be destroyed if you have this mindset. You need to face Allah individually. And after this passage, in chapter 19, verse 95, straight after this passage, Allah says, every one of you will come to Allah individually. So it is just essentially you and Allah. My final example is, ironically, the example of Yusuf. In the Quran circle, we tend to quote this ayah quite a lot, chapter 12, verses 103, and also another one, verse 106, saying that most people will not be believers, except in associating with Allah. I mean, I don't think it's a wrong quote, but it's not in context. The context starts from verse 101, which talks about the formulation of Yusuf, his life. And he has achieved self-actualization. And he says it's Allah who taught him ta'wil al-hadith, or the essentialization of the event being his life. So Allah then says in verse 102 that these are the anba'ul ghaib, the news of the unseen, which is given to the reader. And then he says, but most of mankind will not be believers. And it continues that in 106, they will not believe except that they become associators. So in other words, for us to become mu'minun in the pure sense of the word, that's how it's used in this ayah, we need to face Allah directly and deal with the events of our own life. So we cannot ask someone else, oh, what was your life like? No, it has to be you, your events, and God. And that is how you get rid of shirk. So I've gone actually 2 minutes over the time. I think by the end of Ramadan, it'll be 50-minute lectures again. So I'm very, very sorry for overstretching the time limit. Many thanks for your viewership, and I shall see you tomorrow on the last day of Ramadan.